hopefully it's a nice close game. So it has been a fairly close matchup between these boys, so it's been a good series overall. As Fate, they're going to run right into Feld. It's going to be a 5v5 and a huge stun out from Stonebank. It's the Stormhammer landing on 5. You don't really see that too often, John. Albino, there's no way he gets out. Oh, he's still fine. Albino barely makes it out. But look at that. I mean, a 5-man Stormhammer. When's the last time you saw that?
Not too often, but it looks amazing. The tips hard there from both sides. Really good block from Fade to ensure the last right click coming out from Funnick wouldn't come in. They are forced to get glimpse of one, but it's not the worst thing in the world, of course, as the disruptor to just cut off Stonebank as well. Still, you know, yeah, you force Albino Zebra all the way back. To be fair, he's not going to miss too much in the lane. See some contestation over these runes still.
Should be a 2-for-2. Fade's running for the other one down south. And he will be able to get it, so make unable to keep up. Bit of a high five here in the jungle. Fade and Snowbank having a little bit of fun. We'll start off with the mid lane as per always, though. You're going to have kits on the Void Spirit against Dendi on the Storm Spirit. Obviously, Dendi popping off last game. Against Void Spirit, I think it could be a bit more of a challenging mission to complete here for Dendi, as the lane should not be quite as easy as it was against the Pango. But what are you thinking here, John?
It's maybe a little bit tougher up against the Void Spirit. He can apply a good amount of damage himself, even though he has to go a little bit close, put him in range of the Remnants, the Vortex, the Overload attacks. But it's a Void Spirit. His right-click trade is huge. If he lands 8 Remnant, gets a couple of auto attacks off, it starts to feel pretty awkward for the Storm. Rune Control is the big aspect of this matchup as well, and that earlier level 6 timing still stands. So it's going to be down to who manages to get maybe a little bit more out of the denies. I think that's going to be more important than the actual CS just for the levels. And yeah, when you land a Remnant, get a couple of right clicks, that's when it starts to feel awkward for the Storm. But level 3 for Dendi is pretty big if he does manage to get the double overload off as well.
What about the side lanes? Like, what's happening top lane? Hit Immune Albino Zebra against Funnick and Stominant. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty boring lane, I suppose, between these two duos, but we may as well quickly go over it, John. Anything to keep an eye out for? Like, I imagine both cores in this top lane should be able to find some farm.
Yeah, not much to really take away from either side. You might be able to maybe get aggressive on Stominant, but even then, that's not the biggest deal. You just AFK farm for Funnick, get into the Vanguard. And once you're there, say level 4, level 5, going for maybe a 2-0-3 or 2-1-2 by 5, the Wind Ranger is not going to do much. It's just the nature of the hero. You have to deal with atrophy, your physical output core on the right click. It's not going to be one of those games where the Wind Ranger looks completely busted here.
Yeah, probably not. And that bottom lane, of course. The one lane we haven't really gone over yet. Fade on the Darkseer, along with Soldier on the Techies against Stonebank. On the pause one Sven, and of course Lodine gonna be there on the Lich. I kind of like, I don't want to say I find it hard to see Bait losing anyone at this bottom lane, because with the amount of magical damage you can deal to this Sven, that could very well happen. But I feel like Bait are the ones that might be able to secure kills here. Like with the Lich Sven, you can't really underestimate how much damage they can deal quite quickly. And well, as I say that, here we go. The jumps in. Lodine going to be targeted. He doesn't have Frost Shield yet, but he does have stick charges. He's going to survive, just barely. But it seems like Felt intending on proving me wrong pretty early on, as the sticky bomb is going to land. Lodine is barely going to survive. For now, though Fade is trying to see if he can snipe this Lich. He's going to move in. Lodine will go for the gaze out, but Fade is just trying to creep skip at the moment. Has level 2 Iron Shell with the Ring of Health, so he can do this. And he can just stack it up on the small camp like this. Get that farm efficiency going. With Lodine being this low, he can't really do anything but die here to Solji, who was completely anticipating where he was going to be. Very nice pick off here from Solji.
That's what we need to see from that offlane. Play with the Iron Shell plus the Techies. blast off, and you can start to win out this lane. It's a little bit challenging for Stonebank. At the same time, he's not really being slowing down in the CS. So you're probably fine with just trading your Lich away for that, as long as your core Sven is farming. Some attention down mid here onto Kits, but no mana on Dendi. It's fairly low on Void Spirit and doesn't manage to find his water rune, so bit of an awkward spot for Kits. None of his support's dead as well for the rotation up to fill up his bottle. So overall, Dendi's just going to have a bit of a better go into the level 5 timing. But still, that advantage still holds for Kits. A little bit ahead, more denies under his belt. Should find his Astral Step faster than the Zip here.
Bottom. Stormhammer out. Fade's going to be chased down. But Fade's just fine. In fact, Stonebank, now the one that needs to retreat. Solji was having a look for a nice blast-off attempt. Kind of thing, like all this bonus armor you can get as the Sven, not really going to matter too much with all the magic damage they can pump out. Lodi not really helping the cause without any points in the Frost Shield, but here we go again. They'll try onto Solji. They do have the Stormhammer to throw out. Stonebank will eventually land it, and Solji is going to be the one to go down, which is what I was expecting a little bit early on.
Just punish on techies, ensure that the aggressive play from Felt is held back. You're still pretty happy for Fade to keep farming up like this, though. So again, sacrificing your supports for both these cores, not the biggest deal in the world. Vanguard up and running now for Fade. Should be secure in that lane. Not too many issues. You'll also get the bottle top up going for Kits down mid, with Solji kind of resetting. Although,
Albino mid lane. Not sure what the idea was there, but he's going to get caught out and feeds a kill over to Dendi. Now Solji even shows up. Gaze out from Lodine, though he was trying to catch Solji mid blast off, but messes it up just a little bit. Still very nice D ward there from Lodine. Going to find himself a bit of bonus gold here for himself. They do try and secure a power rune for Dendi. Sadly, Dendi misses out, does not get too lucky. Kids jumps in to try and harass him, but ultimately runs out of mana as Solji picks off Lodine. Lodine denying off the arcane rune, but it does cost his life for it.
yeah, it's maybe not the best sacrifice at that point. At the same time, at least you prevent Kits from having that rune to start playing aggressively. We're seeing a lot of space coming out for Stonebank down bot, just stacking up a camp, clearing it out, no problems. Aggressive again, though.
Nice glimpse there onto Lodine, who just TP'd in. Bino Zebra sending Lodine right back to the base, but at the least, Dendi is going to survive because, again, Kits was a bit too low on mana to really commit the second Astral Step charge, so could not secure the kill onto Dendi.
And again, like lots of emphasis mid. Both sides understanding the launching points are going to be one of these Spirit Brothers. It's preventing any rapid buildup. They're clearing out the stacks now on bait. Good amount of farm to go both Dendi and Funix way. Good amount of EXP as well. The gold injections are coming in. You would want to save the Ancients for your Sven. Stonebank, once he hits that Mask of Madness, should be able to clear out. So, no contestation coming out from Felt. Should be some free stacks for good old Stonebank to find. And a rather even start overall, but that even start feels better for bait. Like, with Felt's draft, feels like you want this early aggression here. They'll try and Stonebank once more.
A wall has been dropped. Stonebank, though, just casually runs out of it. Not much the wall's going to do this early on, sadly, here for Fade.
Radiant's bottom tower
It goes back to the fact that you have a Lich and a Sven. Like, it's these guys not going to die this early on to the wall illusions, that's for sure. Dendi zips away. Nice sticky bomb from Dendi, but still able to get out for now. Though a nice Aether Remnant landing from Kits. Blast off is not going to be on target, though Dendi is still being chased down. But the Storm are able to just constantly zip away. And Stormin has just been around, constantly just handing over Chakra Magic to Dendi every time he needs it. Meanwhile, Funnick, though, top lane, barely able to TP out. Does barely survive. And can just Fiend's Gate back to the laning stage if he needs to.
Yeah, no rush. We'll just gate back. Yeah, why not? You're not going to look for any aggressive plays anytime soon on this Underlord. You just want your auras to be up. Albino Zebra sends him home, but he can just gate through again.
Surprise. The thing is, they do have decent kill threat on the Underlord because you do have the Maelstrom already up. Hidamune literally rushing the Maelstrom instead of going for any form of boots. See, the Maelstrom not caring so much about the atrophy aura of the Underlord, so Funnick does need to be a little bit wary of that as bottom lane. Lowdyne chases out, does cancel the blast off with the gaze, but in comes Kids to ensure that somebody is going to die. And Fade will be the one to take the kill with the Iron Shell of the Darkseer. And lines have been drawn out directly towards Stonebank. But Stonebank, realizing they're around and probably are going to make their way over to him, does TP towards the Ancient Stacks that Funnick is ready to Firestorm. And they'll just take it together. No God Strength necessary. Just plenty of XP and gold to go both the way of Funnick and Stonebank. And sharing is caring. But Funnick being the nice guy he is, he will leave the big creeps here for Stonebank to finish off.
Good amount of gold getting injected. Speeds up your timing into that Echo Saber, which is when the Sven starts to really get a little bit scary up front in these fights with all the strength he'll have. Felt doing a great job of keeping this game equal though. They're getting that space out for Fade. He's also working up, starting to get his item build up going. Now Berna, for his part, on the Wind Ranger, left alone, so the pressure's not quite there from Funnick, and a bit of a smoke play out here.
Indeed. Jump in. This is a big pick-off. Blast-off's gonna land. Perfect initiation there from Kids. Now they're looking for more mid lane. They know both supports are around. Lowdyne's gonna get glimpsed back. Sticky Bomb is gonna land, but Kids is being rather hesitant because he doesn't have the Aether Remnant. In comes Funnick here with the Fiend's Gate. Albino, though, he's able to walk away. 10 HP he survives on. Kid's still going. In comes Hidamune now, going on to Funnick. Hidamune not dealing as much damage as he would like, I'm sure, as Stonebank's going to show up and Hidamune's dead. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
But they had such a good fight.
I mean, it looked decent. Oh, you managed to, earlier on with a gank at least kill off Dendied and you clean up Lowdyne, but you jump in very... I like that move out from Berna to walk through the gate, but even with Maelstrom, you're reliant on those procs for damage. You saw how much damage Funnick was taking, literally no damage. And it's only when you get the Maelstrom proc, which is unfortunately not on Berna's side there. So you don't manage to get that much for your effort. You're much happier on bait. You get that aggressive movement out, and now they might look for something top.
I mean, they're going to try again. This is a tanky boy, though, and he's got help incoming. Stonebank going to show up now with the Stormhammer being thrown onto Hidamune, who's trying to wind run away, but he never gets it off. Oh, he waited too long. The gaze connects, and suddenly bait. Finding two targets. Finding the pos 1 of Felt, and they can move on to the top tier 1, no problem.
They've got the damage. They've got quite a fair bit more time on God Strength as well. Echo Saber up and running now for Stonebank into the blink. They're TPing in to defend.
I don't know about this Fade. We get locked down. Stonebank with the God Strength still wants to keep going. Even has the Echo Saber now as Kids is going to try and jump in as well with the Dissimulate, but Kids needs to retreat. Stonebank proving to be a little bit too tanky at the moment as they are still trying to jump Fade. Fade will get away, glimpses back onto Funnick as well to ensure they cannot lock down Kids, but Fade is still in huge trouble. Stonebank able to pick up another here on the Sven. This is what I was saying about the Darkseer, John. This hero, it can feel pretty lackluster if it's not in the right style of draft against the right style of draft, and that's what I'm feeling it is right now.
That doesn't feel great. Maybe down the line, again, you get that combination off, it could look good, but as it is right now, it's not particularly amazing. It didn't really completely crush the lane up against Stonebank. The illusions are not going to be doing too much damage as of yet until some of these heroes start to scale up on bait. I'm not the biggest fan of this build as well from Fade. Like Echo Saber plus Vanguard into Ags. Like surely if you went perhaps Guardian Greaves, Crimson Guard, you have a better shot at sustaining true what Stonebank wants to do in the middle of this. Heck, maybe even a Halberd as a build-up. It doesn't feel like a high-priority Ags game at all. Like, sure, you can punch the Sven, you can prevent some TPs from coming out, but those illusions just aren't going to do enough in this game. They'll just melt to the cleave damage of Stonebank, and he will be able to clear them out pretty damn fast in these big fights.
Here we go again. Smoke is out. Feeling like they need to do something. Dendi with a nice juke out on the Aether Remnant. Very quick reactions, but now he needs to find a way out because he's out of mana. Kits is the one in danger. Kits locked down. Kits is gone. The Rod of Atos from Funnick. He does end up going for it in the end, and it's paying off dividends already. They root the Void Spirit. They take him out. Bait now 3k advantage, looking so strong in this game 3. Might even just take a tier 1 tower while they're at it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Not going to be stopped. This side of Felt just don't have a response. They have to wait for more to be up and running on Fade and on Burna, on the Wind Ranger. The BKB build up by the Wind Ranger, it's nice. You can sustain through the front. You're not going to be chain stunned, but you're not going to do damage. That's my issue this game. You don't have a way of just ripping through. You don't have the magical output to kind of control these fights. You could start to connect now with Albino Zebra, but a Static Storm. If they had that on the Vac wall, it might have been a little bit better, but it doesn't come out. And we'll have to see if the opportunity will present itself now for Felt, because Vac wall, Static Storm is still the combination you go down to. And that should provide you some openings to try and lock in Dendi, try to find a way to melt through Stonebank. But again, it takes a level of execution here for Felt, and it also takes a little bit of mispositioning from Bait to really maximize this, which we haven't really seen Bait give that many opportunities throughout Game 2 and Game 3 so far.
Felt they're not out of this game yet. Still a 3k advantage the way of Bait, but nevertheless, I mean, you're still within this game, still possible to make the comeback. I gotta tell you, I really don't know how to feel about this Darkseer Echo Saber that Fade's built up. It's obviously you might think about Harpoon, but it's a pretty weird build for a Darkseer, to say the least.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, he is universal, I guess, so more damage, sure.
Is.
But I know, like, I guess a double hit with your normal punch when that's up sounds pretty good. You got the stun, you can hold back in your second hit, you got the slow on top, so could be nice, not particularly amazing. There's some room here for Felt to keep pushing down bot at the least, although the TPs are coming in into the Remnant though. Glimpse
nice.
back.
Very nice glimpse. Fiend's Gate is still there though. Dendi jumping in immediately, going after Kits, who's already so darn low, trying to zip away, is just not gonna get out. Kits is gone. Albino Zebra also dropping. And Stonebank never even came with the team. He was like, you know what? If they're gonna glimpse me, I'm staying up top. I'm gonna keep farming, boys. You guys get it done.
Yeah, why not? Just keep that build up. He did pop the God Strength, so he wants to get something out of it. Felt like he was not necessary in that fight. And they've got room to play what they want, do what they want right now on the side of Bait. Felt. And this is time to farm for Burna. This is time for him to go into the Gleipnir. Is inching closer towards it. Much preferable over the BKB that he's looking for. You need a little bit more offense than defense here on Felt. This should give them some hold. This should maybe even provide setup for that Vac wall into the Static Storm. With the AoE route you do get out. So there's some options here for Felt. The lead from Bait, not completely shutting out Felt. You know, it's like a 5k lead at 18 minutes. We've seen worse. We've seen comebacks from this kind of lead. Felt's definitely still in the running. So they will go for a smoke play.
Hit a Malice from Funnick, just blindly. Case the Power Rune. Was to be swiped here by Felt, but they do not go for it. Double damage here for Dendi. Immediately they want to fight off this naturally. I mean, just a double damage on your Storm that has the constant mana coming in from the Coddle is going to feel so good as Kit's already caught out. Oh, they are just destroying the Void Spirit this game. Funnick, just so much impact on this Underlord. Again, this Rod of Atos and Pit of Malice build-up, it's pretty classic for Underlord, but Man, the value he's finding out of it this game is just ridiculous.
He's getting a lot. Way too much value in that hold. It's going to take a while. If you don't have a self-dispel anywhere on hand here, from the side, I felt your supports are really safe if they catch one more.
Yeah, Soldier, he was trying to skip the creep wave. A lot of disarms coming out here with the taser, but it's only going to delay the inevitable for him as Funnick finds his 5th kill of the game, 5-0-4 now on the Underlord. There's that Aghanim Scepter for the Darkseer you talked about, by the way, John. Fade does have picked it up, and, well, there you go. I mean, he literally just built the Echo Saber to disassemble it. You know, it is what it is. It works.
I suppose that's one way to go about it. I'm curious what he does with the staff next. Maybe Mage Slayer into like a Bloodtorn could be one way to go. A little bit more durability coming out there as well, as he is starting to farm up into the pipe. Side of Felt taking an aggressive posture here. They saw Kits, but he's kind of hiding around.
Well, they are rushing down here, Felt. They seem like they want to prepare for a fight. Don't know if the Ags is going to make the big difference that Felt are looking for, to be fair. Like, you don't have anything like a Blink Initiation for the Darkseer. Just got to rely on Surge to make your way over. They could try to beam around for next Roshan, which has walked its way in through the Twin Gates. His bait are also around here, and they will reveal themselves on that bottom creep wave, but Felt, they're going to start Roshan anyway. Smoke is out, bait rushing right towards the pit. Solji might be in position to break the smoke, but no, he narrowly misses it. So Stonebank could blink in here, but he's going to be doing it completely blind. Still, they'll find Albino Zebra, and he's just gone. Immediate death out. Shackle to lock down the Sven, but they've even got Solji under control thanks to Dendi, as they are still trying to fight, but the Root is out. They've caught Hidden Mute on the Wind Ranger, and he's got no way. There's just too much lockdown from Funnick. As Kits. He was trying to go through the Fiend's Gate. It does wear out just in the nick of time, but he does TP away. He's all right. Roshan, however, is going to go the way of bait pretty freely, in fact.
Yeah, it could have been pretty bad if Kits couldn't TP out there. Manages to find a good spot in the tree line to bail out. But the issue still stands. Like, you instantly lose your Disruptor. You get this good vac opportunity, good vac wall, but where's the follow-up? You need the Disruptor, and he cops the smoke. You know, he's the one that gets caught off by the steps into Roche. And that's the one kill you cannot afford to give away on Felt. Like, you have to have that Disruptor. You have to have that vac wall. You also have to pop Focus Fire on Burner on Roche, so he has no option, no play in the middle of that fight. You're
Hidden Mute. I mean, Lodine's by himself, to be fair, but he does scare Hidden Mute away from that ancient camp. Bait were just very focused on taking the bottom tier one. Meanwhile, top lane, Dendi gonna find Solji. Glimmercape gonna make it a little bit challenging to pick him off. Dendi still having a look around. Does not have the Vortex anymore, so can't stop the TP. Hidden Mute, however, he's a sitting duck right now if he gets caught in that triangle. Instead, they might see Albino on the creep wave, and they might just settle for him instead. And it seems like with the glimpse back, he doesn't stand a chance. Never mind. Hidden shows up for a casual shackle power shot. Tickles Stonebank, who's more than happy to just walk away from that. And it seems like Bait, they might be prepping to try and take the Tormentor away from the Dire End. I mean, why not? Just take everything that you can.
No worries in the world here. They're not going to start it. Things coming out, maybe wanting that tier 2 tower first, and it looks like, nah, go back to the Tormentor. No defense coming out from the side of Felt. So a freebie going the way of Bait. They get the shard up and running on Stominant. So now they can just drag in Dendi all the way across the map to get these fights started. With a recall, tier 2 still set to fall. And for Felt, again, it's just down to execution here, Mike. Down to positioning. They need to find a way to get this vac wall Static Storm off. And so far, they've been losing Albino Zebra far too often. I get it. Someone needs to comp these ganks. Someone needs to get jumped first. It just can't be the Disruptor or your Darkseer. It's got to be someone else. Maybe you just sacrifice Solji at this point. Have him play really forward in the techies. and just try to build off of that instant jump that Bait want to bring out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough. At least for Phil. Like, at least if you do start fights with Solji, like the electric taser does make, or rather reactive taser does make it pretty hard to actually take him down quickly. But, you know, even then, they still do a pretty good job of just shutting the guy down. Thought are just going to take as much time as they possibly can, getting some more farm up.
Are scanning.
Like, I'm looking at Hidimmune's farm right now, and he does have the Gleipnir up, but it feels like he's slowed down a lot compared to someone like Stonebank, who has a full nullifier up now. Perfect way of dealing with the wind range of this game. And Solji, bottom lane, is about to get deleted. Stonebank will take him out. 6-0-6 now is the scoreline of the Sven, and they are looking to go right up to the high ground, it seems. Glimpse back casually on Stonebank by a couple seconds there, thanks to our Albino Zebra, but ultimately, I think the tier 3 tower is pretty free for Bait.
Yep. It is set to fall. At least Fortify still up, so they stall for time here. And they do again have this high ground defense combination on the team fight if they can find this angled somehow, but it doesn't look like they will. Tier 3 falls. Bait play it safe. They back off. They don't want to overextend. Am I the only one seeing Stonebank queue up? Okay, never mind. He was queuing up another Echo Saber. I was like, huh, is that a new build? Double Echo Saber? No, it's the Harpoon.
What if that was a new item, John? What if you could build 2 Echo Sabers, and then instead of 2 hits, you do 4?
That would be pretty sick, I was going to say. Yeah, like if they didn't share a cooldown, sounds really fun.
Yeah.
You know, some heroes would really enjoy that. I think it's kind of busted. Can you imagine, you know, Meepo going for the stats? Echo Saber is pretty decent. So you stack Echo Sabers on your Meepos?
Yes.
Imagine that. That is not fun to play up against, Mike.
My only request is if they ever do implement that idea, I want someone, like a hero like Sven should have 2 swords, you know? It should be fun. Like change the whole cosmetic of Sven.
Will he look like the Alchemist Ogre with his 2 swords out?
No.
Except
like,
the swords are oversized?
Well, say, I can't make anime references with you, John, because we don't watch the same anime. I can't confidently
There's a
say
lot
you've
of
watched
anime
an
with 2
anime
swords.
with a
What do you
sword in it.
mean? There's a lot of anime with 2 gigantic swords.
Have you watched any anime with swords? Because it
Yeah.
feels like you're not the kind of guy.
Gundam has swords, right? That counts. Witch from
no, it
Mercury.
doesn't.
Pretty good show.
Solji.
Give it a watch, guys.
I'm trying to interrupt as best I can, John. Solji. He's gonna be okay. Bait. Hit him. Oh no, not hit him.
Oh boy.
Stallman saw him with the Illuminate vision. Blinding light knocks him into place. This has not been a great Wind Ranger game, to say the least, John. And this just adds to the stat you love to keep bringing up about Wind Ranger. Just even more losses for the hero by the looks of it.
Yeah, not much you can really do about that. Again, a little bit of a hero that only wins in stomps. This is not a stomp in Felt's favor at the very least. High ground begins. They fortify for the melee racks. That means the mid is going to open up here. They're trying to stall for time.
Zip in, Dendy, narrowly missing out on Fade, who has already jumped in. Stonebank's just not really, again, not caring about the illusions, though. Zip back, Dendy. He got Glimpse back, in fact, but he can just zip away. Like, they're not taking any damage. This is without the Crimson Guard being used, by the way, on Funny. Just look at this. Like, there's no damage. Funny's literally just walking forward. Dendy's in again. Albino Zebra this time gets a Static Storm, but Dendy has the BKB. Meanwhile, Fade's been caught in the low ground, so he is probably just dead with the Nullifier build up, but a nice Vacuum and Blast Off combination might turn this one back around. Perhaps they could try. Lowline is gone, but that's about all they've got so far. Solji trying to run. He gets destroyed here by the Sven. A nice shackle by Hidimune to try and turn this one. They do get Stonebank. Felt are kind of doing it. It's funny. Trying to get through the gate. Glimpse back, still trying, is not gonna make it. Phil do hold out.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, they hold out. It does cost them at least a buyback on Solji, but they find the big kill they want on that Sven. Just takes a lot of effort to get that kill. And again, the Wind Ranger, if you can land the double shackles, it starts to feel like a hero. That's what has to happen every single time when these fights break out. Not the ideal fight for Felt by any means, though. The Vac wall coming through without the Static Storm on top. If he had a Static Storm, again, maybe that fight's a little bit different. maybe it works in your favor a little bit earlier on. You don't have to lose your safe lane. For Bait, I mean, they did kind of overstay their welcome. They didn't respect the Fortify and the melee. To be fair, it's a really weird Fortify. So they just stay, overextend, and get punished for it. 20-8. Decent fight for Felt, but Bait's still in control. And I don't know if you can repeat that on Felt. Like, again, your high ground's decent if all these spells connect. But you saw the damage is used. You pointed it out. I don't think we saw the Crimson Guard go on at all from Funnick. So when that turns on, I don't think you're doing any damage at all. Literally zero damage.
At least they win the last fight. In some sense, you know, that high ground defense, it means a lot here for Felt. I'm not saying it's turned the game around by any stretch, but it certainly gives them a bit more time to build up those items they need to make the comeback happen. Solji, by the way, John, I don't know if you noticed, he's going for the Axe build up on the techies.
Oh.
Yeah, so the Minefield sign upgrade is coming. Now, I'm a really strong disbeliever in this Aghanim Scepter. I'm not a big fan. But Solji maybe just looking to have a bit of fun. Again, you know, Felt, they don't really have much to play for in this series, apart from forcing a tiebreaker. So I don't blame them for wanting to have a bit of fun here if they do wish. But considering how chaotic these fights have been, considering the fact that you are up against a POS 1 Sven, a POS 3 Underlord, maybe there is inherent value in this Axe. Because they have to run around to get to actually hit people.
Yeah, I mean, you can also just force movement out with a vacuum. So there's a little bit of damage coming out there. Some value coming out. We'll see when Solji does pick it up. He's 800 gold away. Bait with a smoke, though.
Smoke on smoke. Stonebank has his smoke broken. They realize they're around here somewhere. Kid's just going to find Funnick, or rather Funnick finds him with the Pit of Malice. Rod toss out as well, but there's no follow-up quite yet. A normal punch onto the Sven, drag him back up, but they don't go through the wall. Now the Static Storm being dropped as well. They really want the Sven quite badly, but he's still perfectly fine. He's just tanking through all this damage. In fact, he's healing up with the lifesteal. Felt they need to get out. They've popped everything, and they found nothing for their trouble. Solji trying for a TP. He's going to be the sacrificial lamb. I guess if that's the worst of the worst for Felt here in terms of their losses, it's actually pretty good. But they will not be able to contest Roshan, I don't think.
No. Not in position to do so. Not without the wall coming out. Even a Static Storm still a little bit on a cooldown. They're just going to be able to find it here. Another secondary life coming out for the side of Bait, along with a cheese this time around. And Felt, I mean, that was a decent way of taking that fight. He did get Static Storm off, but it was only onto the one. The wall also only clipped 2 heroes coming in. Not quite the ideal execution yet, but you're seeing some sneak peeks into what can happen. Although, even then, it didn't look particularly impressive. If no one's able to really hammer onto Stonebank, it's just too durable, especially with the Illuminate heal coming out from Stominen in his ult form. 21-8, 13k lead for Felt. I mean, the timings are still there. Ags on high ground, at the least. That's the one thing. The Minefield sign on high ground could do something.
It could. The one thing I really don't like about the Ags upgrade is the fact that they need to like get so close to actually proc the Minefield to start. Really bothers me quite a little bit. Like within 200 units of the Minefield sign, like that's a little bit too small of a range, don't you think?
Yeah. Like I'd say, you know, drag them in a little bit because you don't want it to pop right outside your effective radius as well, but a little bit closer than 200, a little bit further out. That's too short.
Kids, he's called out again. Nullify to make sure he can't get away. And now Fade was trying to help him out, but there's a Fiend's Gate right behind him, so there's no escape route. He is just gonna die. Bait, I think you just try high ground again. Force those buybacks. They'll take a Tormentor first, it looks like. Maybe.
Radiant's middle tower
We're thinking about it, but are kind of fragmented. Not going to be taking the gate back anytime soon. You've got the Ags up and running now on Stominen as well. So the Will-O-Wisp is in play. Even more team fight coming out. There's our techies, Ags. See how much Soldier can do.
Oh, Stonebank. deleting Albino Zebra as he was getting glimpsed away. Albino also has buyback available, but it's the respawn times are low enough where I think he can wait for at least Kits to be back up. Soldier's trying to get a minefield sign down, and he does get it done. Is it going to prove to be enough? No. Naturally, it isn't. Look at that, John.
Yeah.
4.2k gold for that.
Yeah. I mean, it looked really strong in C, but for some reason, you know, they just don't stop moving.
If the enemy POS 1 literally just jumps into it, John, and moves around, it's probably going to look pretty strong. Shout out to Natsumi for that one.
Oh, my fellow John.
Usually I wouldn't call them out, John, but that was just horrible to watch.
That was pretty.
So I hit immune. Mid-rack still going down. Kits. Oh, he's got a lot of damage here onto Dendi. Dendi's still locked down, trying to survive through it. Is actually going to make it.
What?
Keep in mind, he still had the Aegis, but they just didn't have the damage output. Once the pipe was committed by Funnick, he hasn't even used the Crimson Guard yet. Dendi moving it again. This time will not be able to get the back, but nevertheless, there's a wall being dropped here. Stonebank still trying to rush forward, but he's dropping rather low, trying to man up here, but the team's left him. Everyone from Bait trying to get out. Lowdine is going to be left behind. He will die as well. Funnick is somehow still here. Going through the Fiend's Gate, trying his best. He's going to make it. But Felt, once again, have defended high ground. They do lose the range racks. They do lose the bottom racks. But they are still within this game 3.
They're doing a great job of just punishing when Bait maybe overextends a bit. When these BKBs start to fade down, it's a little bit more manageable to take care of that Sven. And just feels really awkward. Without the spell immunity, you do get kited around. That is still one big issue with the Sven. So, good job on Felt to hold on. There's some power that can come out. The illusions are starting to feel pretty painful, for the most part, coming out here from the side of Felt. If they find the angles consistently with Fade, and they can still keep taking these team fights. I think the side of Bait now need a little bit more. The Satanic being up on Stonebank is going to be a big spike for him. More strength to play with, more lifesteal, and another Dispel to kind of help the cause. A Hex out from Funnick as well is going to do the exact same thing. I feel like there's an argument to give a Shard over to Stonebank as well. Just have that additional 6 passive armor bonus. Just to really put a hamper on the physical output that the side of Felt wants to bring out here. More defense coming out now on Kits as that full Lincoln's up. More stats, more damage, plus at least some protection from the Atos, some protection from the Vortex. They are trying to burn out, although to be fair, the Vortex is already AoE. It doesn't actually care for the Lincolns anyway.
Certainly doesn't. Aegis about to expire on Dendi. Won't have that available any longer. It's been a double damage rune just sitting at the top rune spot for quite a while now. Just nobody's spotting it out, sadly. So, what? Albino? He's died to oh, it was the Tormentor they were going after. They were going after the Tormentor. Somehow Albino Zebras ended up dying. It happens. Sadly, we didn't get to see exactly how it happened, but it did happen as Albino Zebra.
Focus fire, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. And now they'll lose the Tormentor anyway. They didn't even find that. So that is tragic for Albino Zera. As you do get the Underlord Shard. You would, again, probably prefer the Sven Shard at this point, but always a coin flip between the two bottom heroes who don't have it, so it is what it is. Smoke out onto the high ground.
Zip in, Solji immediately down. Does have buyback. May have been trying to put a minefield sign down. I don't know. Don't think it would have mattered anyway, to be fair. Stonebank. Back wall is out from Fade, but Fade is getting completely destroyed here by Stonebank. So they will buy back on Solji, but Fade does not have one. So a little bit late to the party now as Stonebank. He's falling a little bit low, but he's still perfectly alive as they have found Hidden Mune. Kids eventually going to deal with the Sven. But Bait, they're actually thinking about moving out. Doesn't seem like they want to really try and fight without the Sven any longer. To be fair to them, there is buybacks available as Dendi. He's going to find a two-man Vortex, Albino Zebra. He might be going right back to the graveyard. And he is gone, as Fade will eventually buy back. Kid's trying to move in to set up a fight. Vacuum is there from Fade. Funnick is still happy to just keep fighting away. Dendi's still having plenty of mana as well, so there's no real reason for him to back off unless he feels unsafe. But he has Vortex back up. He might look for one. Gets the jump in. Indy gets the Nullifier put on him. Will-O-Wisp placed here by Stominant. Jump in from Kits, but he's the one in danger as Dendi's just going right to work, so Kits needs to back out with the Dissimilate. Now Bait, 2 racks is up officially. They will happily retreat. Just wait for Stonebank to be back up and available. Funny cancels off his TP to pick up a Windlace. I mean, why not? Doesn't need to TP back. He'll just get back to farming anyway.
Just get back to farm, get that build up. A top tier 2 still standing before the Mega Creeps can come in. So that's probably the next objective for Bait, along with potentially an earlier Roche respawn. Felt again, we're seeing some openings. Whenever Stonebank takes these prolonged fights, he is susceptible to kiting. He is still susceptible to that output coming out here from the side of Felt. But it's just not enough to focus down the Sven. Yeah, you have to take care of multiple heroes, and you only have so many solutions coming out here. As Dominant, he's got the full Heaven's Halberd. Some more protection coming out as well, taking away the bite of Berna if he does find himself getting disarmed. Not going to be able to do too much about that. Roche, longer respawn, 2 minutes left. That will provide an avenue for Felt to kind of find an angle into taking that Roshan. We'll find out if they'll be able to work their way across the map at some point. It should still be daytime, so it will be a bottom Roshan to respawn. That should be our refresh. If I recall my Roche spawn items up, that should be the refresh being spawned there as well.
Big group up from Felt here, John. 5-man running down through the bot lane. Both sides obviously trying to make sure the Roshan does go in their favor. Smoke again here from Felt. Nullifier being built up from Hidden Immune, so wanting that additional Nullifier here for Felt is still moving in, but Beta just holding the high ground from the Twin Gates underneath their own Observer Wards. They'll see Solji. They'd much rather Kits. They do miss out on the Pit of Malice. Oh, I love that Marty's plate on the Underlord as well, John. That's a nice one. Bait just become that much harder to kill now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Roshan still 50 seconds away from respawning, so Bait are going to smoke up. Counter smoke, but Felt have theirs immediately broken here on Solji. Neither side willing to give up the advantage they have in terms of their positions. The Felt are now wrapping around through the bot lane. Stonebank seems to be well aware this might be happening because he's going in by himself, but maybe he's gone a bit too far. Maybe he didn't know, John, though. Dendi, a nice Vortex, but it's too late. The reactions weren't quick enough, and Stonebank is down with that buyback. They need a retreat now, Bait. Dendi has been caught. Static Storm to be dropped. He has the BKB, though. He's able to get himself out. Lowdyne, going to be targeted by Kits. Lowdyne should drop. The Underlord, Funnick, he's a tanky boy. He'll try to TP out of there, but no, the Shackle's going to cancel it off. 3 down for Bait. Roshan now officially open. And Stonebank getting caught on his own. It does cost Bait a massive Roshan.
Yeah, and that's the Ags on the bot. I'm misremembering it. It is a big Ags to give out for free. Like, you've got a lot to have to deal with. That's a slot opened up for Berna. That's going to be him running around. You're going to need a lot of sentries out from Bait to kind of manage that Wind Ranger. And all of a sudden, that lead out from Bait is down to half from that pretty strong start. Felt they've got a lot that they've got now. Like, their team fights are a lot scarier with the Ags fully done on Albino Zebra. So you don't have that play anymore for Dendi to kind of bail out of this one. We'll at least find themselves a shard of Dendi. So you've got the Overload up now with the active. A little bit more control, a little bit more damage coming through. You have to be really careful with throwing Stonebank up front. He cannot be the guy to open up these fights like that, or at least to scout out like that. Sure, he's got the ninja gear, but again, when you're shackled up, the Wind Ranger still feels amazing. The damage is still there. That single target control is pretty long. 3 seconds post 7.33 feels like an eternity, and how every stun has been nerfed down. So you have to watch yourself. Felt this is their opportunity to regain map control. This is their chance to equalize on the rack somewhat. Let's see if they manage to seize that opportunity. It's still risky. I mean, you're far enough ahead on bait that you're still more than likely favored to win. Looking at the graph, 68% according to Dota Plus in favor of bait.
I mean, Stonebank's still huge. They really should not be able to deal with this Fen, but he's just being caught out every time, just getting perma-stunned up. And, well, here we go, hit immune. He's going to reveal himself in the mid lane. The glyph will be there for the tier 2 tower, so it's barely hanging on by a thread. It at least gives time for bait to set up for a fight if they do want to try and move in again for that tier 2 mid tower.
Dire are scanning.
It's obviously kind of incredible Felder still in this game, number 3. There goes the tier 2, hit immune, not getting caught out whatsoever. Question is, can Felt really go high ground? It doesn't seem like they're feeling confident about it, so they're going to run back up towards the top. Plenty of time on the Aegis to think about when you will take the next fight. Beta obviously looking to just remain on their own high ground at the moment. Don't give the opening that Felt are going to be looking for the next 2.5 minutes. But it is going to give Felt plenty of time to completely close that net worth advantage the Bait had. Although I think Beta's still the stronger draft here, well, here we go. They're going to try and jump in on Kits, but he dissimulators immediately. So no catching out the Void Spirit. Would have been an amazing start to the fight, but they don't quite have it as hit immune now. Looking to maybe set up onto Dendi, but he zips away. One and a half minutes left just about on the Aegis now. Beansgate from Funnick. He's just going to push out the top wave. They'll know Funnick's there though, so they'll try to press the advantage while they can. They jump in. They want Stominant. They've got the Keeper of the Light. Kit's not able to finish the job off. Gleipnir was there to lock him down as well, but Stominant still fine with the Glimmer Capers. Now the zip in from Dendi. Oh, they waste the Static Storm. Fade, he's also wasted the Vacuum. He's in now all by himself. Can they protect? Stonebank is out. He found Albino Zebra. This Fade, he's going to try to run. There is no mana left on Dendi, but he does have the Keeper of the Light behind him. Dendi, he gets a Vortex off just in the nick of time, but he can't zip away. He's just walking casually, and he's going to make it out. Stonebank is continuing to go, though he's been disarmed up. He could be in some danger. The shackle will lock them down, but they don't have the damage output. They'll drop a vacuum once again from Fade, but he's inside the vice up. He is gone. And I can't believe Dendi walked out of that. Nobody could finish the job off.
He was a little bit too far forward at that point for anyone from Felt to be able to right-click him down. But that was not something that should have happened. They sniped the courier as well with a gem on hand. They get to pick it up. And it's just on the edge for Bait, but they out-execute there. Just pushing the limits, especially Dendi, to find those openings. No more Aegis on Berna. No safety net for Felt. They do have buybacks at the least, but they don't manage to equalize the game. And that Aegis was their chance to make this a much closer game. They find Stonebank again, though.
What? Oh, what's he doing? Well, where's the team?
I'm not sure. Like, he's going into lane. They're not respecting the Wind Ranger Ags. You can't see this guy without the sentry.
They missed the Vortex. A double shackle again. Lodine's down. Funnick's trapped up. Funnick's going to BKB, but he has no TP. He has no Fiend's Gate either. He just has to walk around in circles. I can't believe it.
This is, yeah, this is quite a way to bounce back after that good fight down bot. I have no words. I don't know what it is, Mike. It's Wind Ranger Ags. You're running in lane without the gem, without sentries on hand, so you just die. You know, the invis on Wind Run. It is something. You get the shackles off as well. There's no safety net for Stonebank. BKB can only do so much if you can't see when the spells are coming in.
I'm simply questioning why they aren't grouped up together, just pushing down the top lane. Like, yeah, okay, you got to address some side lanes, but I don't know. It's you know, this game's getting way too close to be comfortable for Bait, and they've got so much on the line here.
Yeah, you don't want to be in those tiebreakers. You never know how these best of ones go. It's much better to take control of your own destiny right here, right now, but just a bit reckless. Like, the move top is actually fine. They needed to shove in top to clear out the tier 2, but they needed to make that move together. And it's just disconnected. It's really awkward. Let's see if we find something else or sent to group up. Stonebank taking point with a ninja gear. Roshan in about a minute. We'll see that respawn. If it's a quick one, Bait could find themselves in a pretty good position to just take the gate, or at least to take it down bot if it does take a little bit longer as well. I know what to say, Mike. This is just so messed up, because it now looks like Burn has a really strong core, whereas for the first 25 to 30 minutes, he looked like he had no impact in that Wind Ranger. All of a sudden, he's landing these shackles, he's cleaning up, he's been giving opportunities by Bait. It's Bait kind of maybe outplaying themselves, giving these opportunities away. Lead down to just 4K. Win probability still in Bait's favor, but you look at that graph, look at that crash in the EXP and the gold. Not a good feeling.
No, it certainly is not if you're Bait. I mean, it's... Your 2 Raxes up. Like, you've got that safety net of having those Raxes, but... I mean, they're hoping for an early Roshan time, and it goes the exact opposite way as well for Bait. Almost 3 minutes in the timer. So they hung around the pit. They were trying to get that vision early, but they will be stuck there for 3 minutes if they wish to just make sure they're the first ones at Roshan. And of course, Felt not going to be willing to give that up for free. Is now the group up again.
Dire are scanning.
So Dendy's building towards a refresher orb now, just wanting the double vortex available. So many nullifiers available for Felt. I say so many, there's 2, but that does feel like a lot when you're in the middle of a team fight. So they are going to group up and smoke. Felt running down towards the side of Bait. Same position again from Bait, trying to hold the high ground on the twin gate. Felt. They could go for that wraparound they did the first time around. I hope Stonebank is not going to run into that area again by himself. Power shot spotted Dendy. Things were out. Soldier's already going to get caught. Dendy will happily jump in for a vortex onto the techies. Meanwhile, Fade able to get away from Stonebank, but Stonebank does at least secure the kill onto Soldier, who is getting a little bit low now here. Stonebank dropping way too low. He's controlled up. He'll still heal up with the life steal, but it's not enough. They've got him down. Buyback is there, though. They're coming right back into this team fight. Dendy in the meantime, also going to drop to the Wind Ranger. Still, Stonebank is back in the fight, trying to find Hidden Immune, does take him down. More buybacks incoming. Bait, they have committed 4 buybacks here. They cannot afford to lose the next fight. As Fade has been caught by Dendy, but he's all alone in this.
What?
Yes. What is correct, John? Kids now are going to find Lowdine. That's another dieback. And Stonebank's been caught. God. 3 diebacks here for Bait. I don't know what they've done here, John. I really don't. I don't understand it.
This
communication issues, maybe. Is nobody talking?
Maybe, but that's probably just game. They can just take a tier 3, go for the tier 4s. You have fortifies to stall out at the least, but 90 seconds without your Sven, 80 seconds without your Storm. There's not much a Coddle and Underlord does here. Burnout, just go for the tier 4s. He's got the idea. Bait.
Kits. I mean, he's still trapped up here in the root, but he's just so tanky now with all the stats he does have. He's hitting for almost 500 damage, by the way, on the Void Spirit at the moment. His universal hero things is Fade, not going to land the vacuum on anyone. Tier 4 tower is pretty darn low. Stominan's going to get jumped on here by Kits, who can pretty much solo him as the Void Spirit, and does do so. Now Funnick, the one in danger. He's the last man standing right now for Bait, and it looks like he's not standing for too long. He is down. He has buyback, but the Ancient's under siege. It's a 1v5 scenario, and Bait, they are going into tiebreakers because Phil have won this series 2-1. This one is gonna hurt for Bait, John.